Hey everyone, happy Saturday to all. As you know, normally I don't come on Saturdays. I come on at least once a week on Monday to give you the weekly information about the new newsletter. But I wanted to bring new information to you in the positive change community because our ultimate goal is to help you manifest and manage positive change in both your personal and professional lives. What some of you don't know is that I'm currently in the Business Jumpstart Mastermind, and we have to read this book. And the first chapter was your life is what you are willing to put up with. And that was profound because it kind of crystallized everything that was happening to me like throughout these 10 years that I've been here in DC, but beyond. It's like, well, what are you putting up with? And I think it was profound to me because I made a decision to enroll in this business mastermind because I didn't want to be in the same place in 2017 as I was last year in 2016. So in essence, it kind of verbalized what my life was about and what I've been doing. It's like what I refuse to accept, what I refuse to put up with, and my life is different because of it. And one of the things that crystallized it was last May when I returned back to the first federal agency I worked for, and it was moving from DC to Maryland, and a lot of people were sad. But even though I was, going in a rough patch during that time, in between, jobs and building my business, I was happy that I was where I was at for the simple fact that I refused to stay in a job where no matter what I did, there was a ceiling and I wasn't going to get promoted. I got my certified associate in project management certification in 2011. 8 months to the day I received it, I got another job. I got a GS-13, which is a high rank federal government position if you're in the United States. And then I got my 14. And if I were just to stay there, not only would I have still been a GS-11, but I would not have been able to live in DC because my going from GS-11 to GS-14 enabled me to not just survive but thrive when there was a change in management with my apartment. It also enabled me to survive the cost of living. Most people don't know that DC's cost of living is either $89,000 or $92,000, and GS-11 is not even $80K. And when you have like more money, you have more wiggle room. So my decision to leave that, and also my decision to leave SBA, which is the second place where I got my second government agency, is still in DC, and going to the private sector because I wanted to use my PMP, which is Project Management Professional. It helped because I was $10,000 extra dollars, but it's what are you putting up with? And because I refuse to put up with stuff, I have the life I have. There are people. In 2006, I started GS-11. I'm not GS-11, GS-9, and I bet 10 years later there's still people at GS-9 or GS-11. They're still there, and because you go from steps 1 to step 10, and in 10 years you will probably be, let's see, yeah, you can be a GS-9 step 8 or 9 right around now, because it's year 1, 2, 3 is annually, then 4, 5, and 6 is every other year. So you would probably be GS-9 step 7 or 8, but still, it's what you put up with. I never got so comfortable that I tolerated what was happening. I saw, not just at my former agency, but elsewhere, people who tolerated stuff and then they were mad that they couldn't get ahead. And I never wanted to be that person, but they were willing to put up with the stuff. And that's why they're where you're at. Like my first agency, they're now in Maryland. People were miserable. They're inside another agency. They don't have their own building anymore. They're all in cubicles. Before, we had offices with doors on them, but that's what you're willing to put up with. And they kind of crystallized that also The reason why I got into DC is because I made a decision. I made a decision not to that I wanted to work. I wanted to work in my major, and at the time I was in Cleveland. Cleveland's my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio, and I returned back to Cleveland State, where I got my MBA because they had a master's in economics. Once again, I didn't know what the writer was saying about what you would put up with, but I did make a decision that I really wanted to go all in and invest in myself and get my master's in economics, because I worked too hard to get my bachelor's in economics not to be an economist. And by making that decision and putting that out, I actually interviewed, saved my money to go to DC, interviewed, got the job 3 days later. I was in the middle of my first semester at Cleveland State for a master's in economics program. And at the end of the spring semester, I packed up all my stuff on Mother's Day, 2006, and I flew to DC. I had an apartment, and I started work the next day on May 15th, 2016. But I was just very happy that, I refused to put up with something. So what I'm saying to everyone in the Positive Change community is, what are you willing to put up with? Especially since it's, 2017 is very new and very fresh, and we can reevaluate, our patterns. I've done that. I've noticed what I was willing to put up with versus what I wasn't willing to put up with. And another story is how I got into the mastermind. As I said, I just wanted to have 2017 be different than 2016. And the mastermind is led by someone who earned 7 figures. I was dealing with somebody who earned 6. So it's just, when you're at the same level as somebody, you hit a plateau. And I just didn't want to hit the plateau in 2017. So I joined the mastermind because I'm being proactive in putting it out there and doing the work necessary to change where I'm currently at. So that's the question that I'm asking for everybody in the Positive Change community. After writing this, after watching this, write down below what are you putting up with, or what you are refusing to put up with. Drop it in the comments section and I'll read it. But once again, thanks everyone for being a part of my Positivity Change Facebook page, the community. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the Positivity Change mailing list at positivitychange.com/mailing list. I'll also put that link in the description. But I wish everyone a happy and productive Saturday. Goodbye.